Every man is born with power, but only a few ever learn how to protect it. Most people don't lose their future in one big mistake. They lose it slowly, silently, every single day. History doesn't remember the distracted. It doesn't remember the comfortable. It remembers the disciplined. Nikola Tesla, Isaac Newton, ancient monks, elite warriors, different centuries, different cultures, different beliefs. Yet they all lived by one identical discipline. A discipline so powerful that it was hidden inside philosophy, disguised inside religion, and carefully explained only to those who were ready. They understood something modern men completely forgot. That power is not something you gain. It's something you preserve. And the fastest way to lose your future is not failure, not lack of talent, not bad luck. It's losing control of your urges. Every time impulse wins, discipline loses. Every time comfort wins, focus dies. Napoleon Hill called this forced sexual transmutation and warned that it could either build empires or silently destroy potential. Ancient civilizations called it brahmacharya and believed it was the foundation of mental clarity, strength, and wisdom. Different names, same law. A law so misunderstood that most people laugh at it, ignore it, or never even notice it. But the few who master it gain something rare in this world: unshakable focus, calm confidence, mental sharpness, and inner authority. Today, we won't talk about denial. We won't talk about guilt. We won't talk about extremes. Today, we uncover the truth behind a discipline that shaped the sharpest minds in history. Today, we call it what it really is: the secret power of celibacy. In this video, you'll discover why the world's sharpest minds lived differently, and how one hidden discipline gave them focus, clarity, and unstoppable momentum. You'll understand why Napoleon Hill warned about this law, what modern society gets dangerously wrong about pleasure, and how uncontrolled urges quietly drain ambition. I'll show you what happens when this force is ignored, how to redirect it without suppression, and a step-by-step system to build self-mastery over the next 7, 14, and 30 days. And by the end of this video, you'll be given a silent challenge that doesn't just change habits. It changes identity. So if you're serious about focus, discipline, and becoming someone you respect, watch this till the end. This isn't motivation, it's understanding. Most men don't feel weak. They feel drained. Not because life is harder than before, but because attention is constantly being taken away. You wake up tired. You plan to work, to train, to improve. And by the end of the day, nothing truly meaningful is done. This pattern repeats so often that it begins to feel normal. But it isn't. Modern life is built to consume attention in small pieces. Notifications, endless content, instant stimulation. None of these destroy you instantly. They do something worse. They train your brain. Every time you choose comfort over effort, the brain records it as the safer option. Over time, this weakens focus, patience, and self-control. Not dramatically, quietly. This is what energy leakage actually means. Energy is not lost in one decision. It leaks through constant distraction, unnecessary stimulation, and habits that offer relief instead of progress. When attention is scattered, discipline feels heavy. When discipline feels heavy, urges feel stronger. That's why most men fail at self-control. Not because they lack strength, but because their energy is already wasted elsewhere. Men who regain control don't magically become stronger. They simply stop leaking. They reduce unnecessary inputs. They stop giving attention to things that give nothing back. They protect silence. They allow boredom instead of escaping it. As stimulation reduces, clarity returns. As clarity returns, control becomes possible. Celibacy begins here, not as restriction but as preservation. Because a man who cannot protect his energy cannot protect his future. Energy loss is only the surface problem. The deeper question is this: why do men who build empires choose restraint over indulgence? Powerful men don't hate pleasure. They delay it. Because they understand something most people don't. Pleasure is expensive when taken without control. Every pleasure demands payment, not always in money but in energy, attention, and time. High performers value mental clarity, emotional stability, long focus windows. Unchecked pleasure weakens all three. This is why elite thinkers, leaders, and creators often live structured, disciplined lives. Not because they are extreme, but because discipline protects momentum. They delay pleasure because they know timing matters. Pleasure taken too early dulls ambition. Pleasure taken without effort trains the brain to avoid struggle. The mind starts choosing comfort over growth, short relief over long achievement, easy rewards over meaningful progress. Powerful men don't remove pleasure from life, they earn it. They convert desire into drive, urges into action, impulse into intention. This is how consistency is built. This is how focus becomes sharp. This is how ordinary men separate themselves from the distracted majority. But here's the part most people never talk about. When pleasure is not delayed. When urges are obeyed instantly. The consequences don't appear immediately. They appear silently, slowly. And by the time you notice them, the damage is already done. And when this urge is left unchecked, it doesn't destroy your life loudly. It destroys it quietly. Chapter 5 explains how. In Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill introduces sexual transmutation. Most readers skip it. Some misunderstand it. Very few apply it. Hill didn't discover this idea by theory. He studied over 500 highly successful men across industries, leaders, inventors, creators, and one pattern kept repeating. These men had unusual control over desire. Hill never said desire is dangerous. He said desire is raw, creative force. Left uncontrolled, it scatters attention, weakens focus, and drains ambition. But when restrained and redirected, it fuels thinking, persistence, and long-term vision. This is why many top performers naturally avoid excess pleasure. Not out of morality but efficiency. They conserve energy the same way an athlete conserves strength before competition. Hill warned readers carefully. This energy is the most powerful of all human drives. Because mishandling it doesn't just waste time. It wastes mental clarity, emotional stability, and willpower. This is the real message Hill was communicating. Semen retention wasn't about denial. It was about preserving the fuel that drives achievement. And that's why he wrote this chapter quietly, without explaining everything directly. Desire is not a weakness. It is fuel. From a psychological level, desire releases dopamine, the chemical that drives focus, ambition, and effort. This same energy builds businesses, creates art, and pushes people through discomfort. When desire is spent on instant pleasure, the brain adapts. Effort feels harder. Long-term goals lose attraction. Discipline weakens. Sexual transmutation means refusing to waste this fuel. When desire is restrained, the brain redirects it. That unused drive turns into mental clarity, emotional stability, and sustained focus. This is why the top 1% protect their energy. They don't eliminate desire, they delay its release. Because stored energy creates intensity, and intensity creates results. When desire is channeled into learning, work, or training, progress becomes consistent. Confidence rises not from ego, but from control. Nothing is suppressed. The energy is simply upgraded. Sexual transmutation is not denial. It's direction. This topic is too deep to rush. That's why this video is divided into 3 parts. In part 2, we'll expose the psychological and neurological truth, desire, dopamine, and the hidden cost of losing control. Each part builds on the previous one, so don't skip ahead. And if this message resonates with you, make sure you stay connected for the next part. And before you leave, watch the video on your screen right now. 8 habits that can change your life in 2026. Connects directly to what you learned today.